Hi everyone, welcome. My name is Sue and today we're going to be doing a yoga flow with a lot of lunges involved. To do this flow you may need a couple of blocks. It's not necessary, but if you have them handy with you, just have them close to your mat so that you can reach it easily. So we're going to warm up with some sun salutations. Okay? So let's start up at the top of the mat. Bring your hands into prayer position and with your inhale, reach your arms out and overhead, let the palms touch. Flat back and straight legs, fold into a forward bend. Next inhale, lift up halfway for a flat back, hands on the shins or on the mat. Exhale, place your hands on the mat. Step back into a first high push-up position, 1 foot at a time back into high push-up. Bring those knees down if you like, or take a low push-up next, elbows tucked in close to the body as you lower. Inhale, draw your chest forward to come into cobra or upward facing dog. And exhale, take it back into down dog. Good. At the end of this exhale, send your gaze up in between the hands. Step, walk, or hop your feet up to the top of the mat. Once you get there, inhale lifts you up halfway. Exhale to fold into a forward bend. And inhale all the way back up. Stretch your arms out and overhead, taking a gentle back bend. And exhale back to the start. Let's keep going. Inhale, reach the arms overhead. Exhale to fold into a forward bend. Inhale, wave up halfway, flat back. Exhale, hands on the mat, step, walk, or hop back into high push-up. Take that low push-up variation of your choice. And inhale through into cobra or up dog. Next, exhale, flow back into downward facing dog. Just pausing it here for a moment. Press down into those fingers. Find lots of length through the back of the legs. If you want to pedal out the feet, bend one knee and then the other. Keep going. And then the other. Back to downward facing dog. Just holding it here, pressing down into those fingers. Nice and broad in the upper back. Try floating the right foot off the mat, coming into three-legged dog. Good. Draw that right knee in towards the belly. Shift forward into a high push-up position and step the right foot forward, coming into a runner's lunge. Make sure that the front knee is aligned over the front ankle. And you can gently lower the back knee down here if you like. Keep pressing those hips down and forward. Make sure that that left knee is at least slightly behind the hips. Keep breathing. Good. If you want a little bit more, you can start to make your way up. Hands on the front thigh or on those couple of blocks. Good. Keep holding it here. Even more, if you want even more, you can take those hands and reach it up and overhead, maybe palms together, interlace fingers, pointer index fingers, and continue to draw back into that gentle back bend. Your choice, take it easy or deepen it. Yeah, go ahead, release those hands down onto the floor, either onto the floor or those blocks. Curl your toes under and start to lift those hips up and back. Notice my back toe is curled under as you do your best to straighten the front legs. That right leg, try your best to straighten it. One more deep breath. Take it back into a runner's lunge. Press down into those hands. Step that front foot back, either straight back into downward facing dog or flow, taking your low push-up, cobra, up dog, and back into downward facing dog. So I'll leave it up to you. You can skip those vinyasas, so just head right back to down dog. Then let's float the left foot off the ground, coming into three-legged dog. Carefully draw that left knee in towards the belly. Shift forward into a three-legged high push-up. And then step the left foot forward into a runner's lunge. Again, we make sure that the front knee is over the front ankle and that at least the right knee is at least slightly behind the hips. Gently lower it down. Keep pressing those hips down and forward. And you can start to make your way up into a runner's lunge. Hands on the front thigh is fine. And then if you need a little bit more, you can lift that right hand or both hands up towards the ceiling. Maybe looking for a bit of a back bend here as you come into that low lunge position. It's a great stretch for those hip flexors. One more deep breath. And exhale, release the hands down onto the ground. Curl the back toe under. Start to straighten the front leg as best as you can. Nice long spine here if possible. And enjoy the stretch of the back of that left leg. Okay. Take one more deep breath. And then plant those hands down onto the mat. Find your way back to downward facing dog. Again, just staying there is fine, or for a little bit more, shift forward and take your vinyasa. Low push-up, cobra, up dog, and back to downward facing dog. At the end of this exhale, send your gaze up in between the hands. Step, walk, or hop your feet up to the top of the mat. Inhale, lift you up halfway. Exhale to full forward bend, and inhale all the way back up. Stretch your arms overhead, palms meet. Gentle back bend. Let's get right into a forward bend here. Full into forward bend. Inhale, wave up halfway. Exhale, hands on the mat. Step, walk, or hop back into high push-up. Take your low push-up. Into cobra, up dog. And exhale to flow back into those down dogs. And just holding it here for a moment. We're going to take our right leg and float it off the mat. Then bend the right knee and try to point that knee up towards the ceiling. Try to get that right hip higher than the left. Strong legs. Maybe even lift up onto your left tiptoes. Up to you. Good. Level off those hips and step the right foot forward to come into a runner's lunge. This time the back knee is lifted off the mat, but you're welcome to lower the back knee down if you're working on strength. You're working to keep build up strength. And we'll keep that left hand on the ground as you rotate your chest towards the right side. Place your right hand on your thigh or reach that right hand up towards the ceiling. Keep those legs strong. Try not to lean too deeply into that left hand. Turn your gaze up towards that those right fingertips. Hold it here. And release both hands down onto the ground. Either with the back knee down on the mat or with those legs strong, come up into Crescent Lunge. Remember, if you're working to build strength, you can keep those hands on your waist and just work the back leg straight as best as you can. And do your best to keep the spine straight up and down. And now we're trying to get a little bit of warmth in those legs. Start to lower the back knee down slightly and straighten the back leg. Okay, so your arms can be overhead as you lower and lift. And once you've got this pattern down, you can even add your arms into the movement. Sweep it back, get a nice shoulder stretch, and then flow back into Crescent Lunge. Control the movement. One more. Keep breathing. Coming back into a Crescent Lunge. And let's release those hands down onto the mat. Take a little bit of a counter pose, straightening the front leg just as we did before. And then back into runner's lunge, take it back into downward facing dog. And you know what to do, you can stay there or flow. Okay, so once we meet in down dog, you'll float your left foot off the ground, coming into three-legged dog. This time bending the left knee and pointing that knee up towards the ceiling. Nice and strong with those legs, maybe coming up onto your right tiptoes. Keep breathing. And then level off those hips. Step the right foot forward to come into a runner's lunge. Okay. Keep that back knee off the ground if possible. Plant that right hand down onto the ground and rotate your chest towards the left side, keeping the legs strong. You can keep that left hand on your thigh or reach that left hand straight up towards the ceiling. Keep breathing. All right, and let's release both hands down onto the ground. Again, back knee can come down here for a softer version. We're going to make our way up into our Crescent Lunge of your choice. Now, you can skip those arms if you like, or lower the back knee and just bring those arms down to come along for the ride, and then back into Crescent Lunge. Okay, keep breathing. Inhale. Back up into Crescent Lunge. Exhale to lower. 2 more. Here we go, last one. And just hold it there, strong Crescent Lunge. And release those hands back down onto the mat. Step it back into downward facing dog. And staying there or flowing. Good. Excellent. Next, we'll take our right leg and stretch it up high into a 3-legged dog. Bend the right knee in towards the chest. Shift forward and carefully place the right foot to the outside of the right arm, coming into lizard pose. Okay, so again, gentle version, the back knee comes down. For this pose, make sure that you have that right knee tucked up against the right tricep or the right shoulder, pressing it in. Don't let that knee open up. Okay. Stay here for a few more breaths. You might have to walk that right foot out a little bit more to make space for it. Option to come down onto your forearms. You can place blocks under those forearms if you prefer. Again, don't let the knee open up. Keep it hugged in towards the torso, towards the shoulder or the tricep. One more deep breath. And then we'll gently lower the back knee down onto the mat. Okay, and then with the leg in a little bit of an angle, you're going to draw back and come into a half split. Blocks if you need to use them or not. Just a little bit of a different kind of half split. Good. And then we'll walk back to the front, curl the back to under, step back into downward facing dog. And sneak in that flow if you need more. Good. Next, we'll take that left leg and stretch it up high, 3-legged dog. And carefully place that left foot to the outside of that left hand, coming into lizard pose. Again, the back knee straight and off, back leg straight and off of the ground. The knee off of the ground if you can. If not, lower it down. Keep hugging that left knee in towards the shoulder, the tricep. Option to come down onto your forearms, using blocks if you need them. Don't forget to breathe. Good. Let's make our way back onto the hands. Gently place the back knee down onto the mat and straighten the front leg as best as you can. Again, you might have to use those blocks. Good. Excellent. Walk those hands back forward. Take it back into downward facing dog. A flow if you wish. Flow push up, cobra up dog, and back to downward facing dog. Good. Alright, next let's take our right leg and stretch it up high, 3-legged dog. And step the right foot forward to come into runner's lunge. So right down the middle. Gently lower the back knee down. Okay. Point the back toe. Now, if you feel like you're going to be, the mat's going to be a little too thin with that back knee, roll it under or place a blanket under that back knee. So we're going to start to make our way up. You can use your blocks here if you like. Yeah. And then we'll take that left hand, reach it up towards the ceiling. Some of you may want to take a bind. You can see if you can lift that back foot off the ground. Reach around to hold that left foot with your left hand. And then if it's okay with balance, take that right hand, reach it behind as well. And then careful as you come into the spine. Alright. So keep the integrity of the spine. Relax the shoulders. Steady gaze, steady breath. Sometimes the heart starts to beat a little quicker. Okay, now that's just an option. You didn't have to lift that foot off the ground. Don't worry about it if it didn't come off the ground. Let's carefully make our way back and take it back into downward facing dog. Or if you had enough of your vinyasas and down dog, you can just come into a child's pose just to rest for 1 or 2 deep breaths. Good. So next we're going to take that left leg and reach it up high, 3-legged dog. And carefully step that left foot in between the hands to come into a runner's lunge. Gently lower the back knee down. Again, we make sure that the back knee is nice and padded. And staying here is fine, or slowly making your way up into your low lunge. And only if it feels right, you can start to lift that back foot off the ground. See how it feels like on this side. You might have to give it a little lift. Maybe just the right hand, maybe both hands reaching behind to look for a bind. So you want to be careful here, allow the shoulders to relax. It's normal to feel a little shaky. Your heart starts to beat a little faster. Your breath starts to speed up. So it's our goal here to slow down that breath. Good. And one more deep breath, and you want to gently release that back foot, not let it spring back too quickly. And then find your way back to downward facing dog. And a good place here to take a break in child's pose if you need to. Good. Let's come on down onto our knees. Take some cats and cows. Exhale to round the spine. Inhale to let the belly drop. A few of those. Okay. And now we're going to explore a little bit more. We're coming back into our downward facing dog. Take that right leg, stretch it up high again, 3-legged dog. And step the right foot to the outside of the right hand, coming into your lizard pose once again. Okay. So from here, you may want to lower the back knee, or you want to keep it a little stronger. That back knee lifts off the mat. Some of you may be just staying here and you feel a great stretch, you'll stay right here. Others want to look for a little bit more and see if you can bring that right shoulder under the right knee. Your right shoulder under the right knee. And then you'll know right away, this is not for you. Okay, you just stay there with your hands on the ground or forearms on the ground. Okay, again, softer version, back knee can come down. Okay. So then from here, you might want to take one hand off the ground or both hands and reach it back slightly. Don't let that right knee collapse open. You want to keep that right knee hugged in close to the torso. Some of you may want to look for a bind. So a lot stronger here. Be careful, be mindful. Nice long spine. Okay, and then we'll release those hands down onto the ground. Gently lower the back knee down. We'll take that counter pose once again. That should feel really nice, just stretching it back a little. Let's make our way back to downward facing dog. A little movement in down dog, pedaling out the feet or taking your vinyasa. Okay, let's do the other side. Take that left leg, stretch it up high, 3-legged dog, any version you like. And step the left foot to the outside of that left hand. Again, back knee can come down. You can work it right here. Let those shoulders drop a little, forearms on the ground. Okay. Just listening to your own body. You want to give it a little bit of a challenge, but not push yourself so far that you injure yourself. So being very mindful. Maybe that left shoulder under the left knee. Squeeze that left knee in towards the torso. And then start maybe stretching one hand out and then the other and slightly back. You can stay right here or reach those arms behind and look for a bind. And then coming into our bound pose. Good. It's a tough one. Okay, and then let's release, carefully release those hands down onto the ground. Gently lower the back knee and take that counter pose. Stretch it back. Good. All right, let's bring it back to our downward facing dog here. A little bit of movement. A vinyasa if you like. Good. Okay, so after all of that, you can continue to explore a little bit more of lunges. But I like to just bring us into a closing here. And after all of that, it's nice to do thread the needle. So come on down onto your hands and knees and have the knees a little wider. Bring the toes together like I'm doing here. And you start off in a tabletop position. Place your left hand directly under your face. Take your right hand, stretch it up towards the ceiling. And go ahead and bring that right hand and tread it under the chest to the opposite side so that your right shoulder and head is able to rest on the ground. If it's not, use your props. Grab a hold of that block or a pillow. Give yourself a little lift. Once you're here, you can use your left hand to press down onto the ground to deepen that stretch, deepen the twist, or you can just stay where you are. If you still need more than that, take that left arm, reach it up towards the ceiling, bring it across the low back, and enjoy this twist. Thread the needle. Good. Just carefully unwind that. Press back up into a tabletop. Either take cats and cows or coming back into a white knee child's pose. And just to relax here for a moment. Just allow the spine to be nice and neutral. So we find our way back into a tabletop position once more with the knees a little wider and toes together. Place the right hand directly under the face. Take your left hand, reach it up towards the ceiling. And then that left hand threads under the chest to the opposite side. Oh, and allowing the left shoulder to relax on the mat, head to relax as well. And if you want a little bit more, you can press down with that right hand on the ground or take that right hand up towards the ceiling and bring it across the low back. Carefully unwind back to the front. Come back to a tabletop for some cats and cows. Or if you prefer, just back into that white knee child's pose. Might feel really nice. A little bit of movement. Shifting the hips side to side. Good. Alright. Now let's come on down and onto our backs and just give those knees a little bit of a hug into the chest. Roll it out. Okay. And we're going to take a happy baby pose, single-legged happy baby pose on the back. And it looks very much like a lizard pose. Okay? So we're drawing that right knee in towards the shoulders, pressing that heel straight up towards the ceiling, and maybe stretching the left leg down on the ground. So with this one, you want to use your arm strength to draw that right knee towards your right shoulder. And feel that stretch of the hip flexors, great stretch of the inner thigh, the right inner thigh. Good. Now let's bring that left ankle just above that right knee to come into our reclined pigeon pose. You can just draw that right knee in towards the chest, wrapping your hands around the back of the left thigh. Okay, so you just want to draw it in. If you want to come into a reclined version, you're welcome to straighten and lower that left foot down onto the ground while still holding onto that right leg. Just an option. Okay, and let's carefully release that. And uncross the legs, come into our lizard pose on the other side. So just draw that left knee in towards the torso, towards the outside, towards your left shoulder. option to straighten out that right leg. Just using your arm strength to deepen this pose. Make sure that the shin is sticking straight off the ground like a lamppost. Take this into your version of that hip stretch. Just a figure 4 stretch here will do. Or if you want a little bit more, come into a reclined version of Pigeon. That right leg may or may not straighten all the way down onto the ground. Great. Okay, and let's release that. Unwind the legs. Place the feet on the ground. Lift up into your bridge pose. Those of you who want to come into a wheel pose, you're more than welcome to do it here. You just be careful of those shoulders. They're not quite as formed up as we normally have it in a different kind of yoga class, in a fuller yoga class. Okay, so just be very careful if you're doing wheel. Try to keep those thighs parallel to one another. Keep the breath flowing, belly soft. And let's release. Roll that spine down onto the ground. Let the knees drop gently side to side in a windshield wiper movement. And let's be sure to finish off the class today with a spinal twist. Always great. So for today, bump your hips towards the right side of the mat and let the knees drop to the left, and grounding your right shoulder with your right arm stretched out. If you need a little bit more, try eagle legs. Try wrapping that right knee over the left. Maybe turning your gaze away. Turning your gaze away from those knees to deepen the stretch. And with your inhale, come back to the center, unwind those legs, bump your hips towards the left side, and then let the knees drop towards the right. So if you need a little bit more here, once again, you can try to wrap the left knee over the right in eagle legs. You can turn your gaze away from the knees. Keep that left shoulder grounded. And then come on back to the center and cross the legs, unwind the legs. Bring your hips back to the middle, draw your knees into the chest, get that little bit of a roll out. And that'll bring us into Savasana now. You can stay in Savasana for 2 to 5 minutes, maybe even longer than that. Would be great. If you're going on to do other things, thank you very much, and namaste.